Now, I don't know about you, but I love Marvel and everything about the MCU, and personally, every day I pray to my Lord and Savior Kevin Feige. And I could talk all day about the Marvel movies, but I make videos about games, not movies. Today's topic is going to be about Sony's Spider-Man games and Square Enix's Avengers game, and why Spider-Man's game is good and the Avengers game is shit. So, all the way back in 2017 when Sony announced that they were making a Spider-Man game, at first I was kind of hesitant because of all the memes about the previous ones that I've never personally played, but it ended up being a work of art, and I'm sure we can all agree on that. But let's back it up a little bit to when Marvel announced a partnership with Square Enix for them to make multiple games together. And when that was announced, I was kind of worried. Because despite the fact that I love Final Fantasy, and I know this is an insanely hot take, Final Fantasy, aside from the Final Fantasy VII remake, has been mediocre at best. So, despite that excitement that was somewhere deep, deep down inside, I knew that it would most likely end up being what it was, which was garbage. And don't get me wrong, when we got the teaser footage, I was beyond excited. But despite all of that excitement, as more and more details came out, I became less and less enthusiastic. Like how there are literally only 4 villains in the game. And it has my favorite thing in gaming, microtransactions. And with the Spider-Man games, I never once had the feeling of being less impressed as more things came out. It even got so much to the point that I really debated buying a PS4 just to play those games. So, comparing these two games is like comparing any given Xbox exclusive to one of Sony's. It's pretty much embarrassing how much higher quality one of them is to the other. And after seeing the gameplay for the new Miles Morales game, I know that Insomniac's developers know what they're doing. They did justice to both of these two beloved characters, and unfortunately on Square Enix's side, the mistakes overshadowed how good the characters were written. Which is personally why I think that if Marvel wants their games to become as massively successful as the MCU is, they need to just let Sony's team at Insomniac make all of their games. The quality paired with the amount of fan service is insane, from the story to the suits. And sure, Avengers has some nice suits, but they're also behind a paywall, and that direction is completely wrong. It doesn't seem to be a labor of love like Miles and Peter's stories do. And maybe the issue is that they were working with too many characters, and given that Square Enix's track record isn't perfect, I highly doubt that that's the problem. So, to the Marvel executives, for compensation of Sony letting you guys use Spider-Man properties in the MCU, just let them make your games over at Insomniac. Since outside of the most recent Tomb Raider games, your first choice is a team whose best work in years is a remake of a 23-year-old game.